Hi guys, Agrippa Maxenius here, and I'm taking a look here at a game called Panzer Core. For those of you that have played old-style strategy war games, this would be very similar to the Panzer General series, in which your job is to lead the German army to victory in Europe. Now, of course, just like Panzer General, there are a number of expansions to this game, which allow you to play with Allied forces, etc., so you don't have to play with the Germans all the time. I have to say, I rarely actually do reviews on games, but this is one game I can't recommend more. Right now I'm doing the Polish campaign. I'm trying to beat the Poles. I'm sure those of you that are familiar with World War II, this was the first conflict that Germany got itself involved into, if you don't bother counting Czechoslovakia, which some wouldn't even call a conflict. But basically this game is all about recreating that time period, and it's turn-based. It's basically strategy turn-based. I would say text-based, but they do a great job at hiding the text so you don't get that sort of, just really boring text look, text-based, grid-based look. They really soup up the map, and obviously the gun sounds that you guys are hearing are pretty impressive as well. Now, we do have to take the capital here of Lodz, and then we're going to move on to the main capital of Warsaw. But what we're going to basically do here is we're going to go use the option to purchase units. And over here, the main reason right now I can't purchase units is because I've reached my unit capacity, but I do have enough prestige to actually buy some. So what we're going to do is just basically move our main force up. At this point, I think everybody has moved, so we're going to end the turn here. But I do want to get rid of this Polish artillery unit here, and I also want to go show you guys the really cool mechanic of being able to resupply your units and really get some troops back in action. There's also a system of medals in this game, which I think is really interesting. If you get a fair number of kills, your units will actually upgrade. They'll get an Iron Cross. And there's also a different selection of heroes, although I'm not all too familiar with that yet. But I would absolutely suggest you guys getting this game. From what I understand, the forums themselves have a tremendous community. There's, I don't know how many expansions. This game was actually originally released, I believe, in 2004. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to show you guys this mechanic as well. If you guys look at the the right corner of the screen, you'll see a plus button. And as you can see, I have this armored car here, or actually this Panzer 1B tank, but it's pretty badly damaged. As you can see, 6 units out of 10 have been destroyed. We really want to get the reinforcements back, so I'm going to press that button. Now, if I press the plus sign with a star next to it, I actually get elite replacements, which means that obviously the unit's going to fight a bit better, but it's going to be more expensive. So I'm just going to go with the basic replacements. We're going to let these guys start building up, and we're going to move our infantry towards Lodz as quickly as possible, and basically try to encircle them here. I'm pretty sure we could crush them fairly quickly, and just end this Polish problem. I'm sorry, I had to use some voice characters there. So we're going to go ahead and basically just continue our attack. I can take this town. I don't think there's much strategic importance. The towns that you really want to be taking are the objective towns, which are basically, if you look at the flag on them, the flag is sort of outlined in yellow. As you can see right in the center here, Krakow is outlined in yellow, so this is one objective town we had to take, and we did. So next we're really just focusing on Lodz and Warsaw, and after that we should be home free. Now I think just to make things a little bit more interesting, oh, that's right, we can't do that yet. Sorry guys. I have enough prestige, but I don't have enough slots to actually put any units in. So we're going to have to wait just a little bit. And wait for a unit to get killed, basically. But I actually don't want my guys to get killed. Obviously, the best thing to do is keep your guys alive. As you can see, we just got attacked by a Polish tank that quickly retreated. I don't think he was in a very good position to attack, but it's quite alright. And as you can see, the cavalry actually attacked us downhill from trenches, and we killed 5 enemy cavalry, so there's just an utter defeat on their part in terms of that tiny little skirmish there. So you basically got to see this game as one large battle, and these small engagements as the skirmishes that sort of occur during a battle. So I've moved my men into the marshland here, which I don't believe is the greatest place to be. It's actually the Bezura River. I'm going to go ahead and open fire here on the Polish troops, and actually I got very lucky. I was able to kill 4 and lose no men. I guess hiding in those swampy marshes was able to provide my guys some form of protection. But we're slowly moving into Lodz here. We just destroyed this main infantry force here. We still have a few cavalry units, but I'm not too worried. And we're going to go ahead and move this first Panzer 1B tank up. And in the south here, we're going to try to basically work our way up from the south to assist our forces in taking Warsaw. On the way, maybe we'll get some Polish goodies. We never know. Over here, there is something that sort of worries me. It's a tank division from the Polish army. I'm going to go ahead and bomb them with this actual tactical bomber plane. And as you can see, that's kind of how that works. Now, I can move the tactical bomber anywhere. I can even sacrifice it just to get sort of a view of what's around Warsaw. So I may just do that. And I'm going to go ahead and take this bomber plane. move into this tank once again and bomb it, and I think I can totally destroy, yeah, there we go, that Polish tank. Now, I did overextend my forces a little bit in this game, and the entire game is really about learning how to not overextend your forces, learning how to use your forces effectively. You know, certain units shouldn't be attacking other units. Infantry do really well against artillery positions when they're attacking, not when they're defending. And there's just a lot of things that you really need to go to the forums to find out. I'm going to go ahead and reinforce this unit right here, and we'll continue. Basically, I would give this game out of 10, I would say about an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. The only reason I would not give it a 9 out of 10 is I think the amount of actual content in terms of expansions could definitely have been added to the game before it, you know, went on Steam sale. But I understand that, first of all, the developers have to make money. You know, this is not one of those games that's, you know, greatly advertised everywhere. These guys do not have a giant amount of money to advertise their game, and yet it's an excellent, excellent game. So I really do tip my hats off to them for that. But I think they could definitely provide some cheaper content, especially for us Steam users who just got this game and haven't even heard about it. We definitely should have heard about it, but haven't really heard about it until now. So that's one thing. And we're going to go ahead and end this turn, I believe. Here we go. So as you can see, they open fire with their little artillery gun with just 2 units. There's really not very much they can do. I'm definitely going to reinforce this unit here, give them +6. I'm going to move this next unit here and attack the cavalry. And actually, I should have attacked with an infantry unit. Don't actually always feel safe attacking cities with tanks. For those of you that are familiar with the Syrian conflict, you'll understand why. And it actually, they definitely show that to be the case in this game, because when you attack a city with tanks, more than not, you're actually going to lose a lot of tanks. You're not going to actually defeat the enemy, even if that enemy is just infantry. So I'm going to go ahead and get this infantry moving up into their trenches. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have the advantage because they've got that artillery just keeps beating down on me. But I'm going to try to do my best. I mean, that's all we can do at this point. I'm going to take this little fighter plane here. I don't believe he's got much gas left, and he's probably going to be dead soon. But I'll try to do as much damage to that cavalry as I can. And there we go. We took the cavalry out. Fortunately, I don't think we have any units that can move in there this turn. We're going to have to wait till next turn to actually move in there. But while that's occurring, I'm going to move this tactical bomber and take out this remaining artillery unit. Probably should have actually sent him to take some defenses out around Warsaw. But I'm not too worried. I think we're doing pretty well. Now, we've got this Polish tank that's running away. And of course he's running away. I mean, up against the German tank, he's got no chance. Look at that. 8 units destroyed. I've got to take my hat off to the 15th Panzer Division here. Now, the reason that they didn't actually get a medal is because when you're just beginning the game, the medals are based on how many kills you get, and these units will continue on through many battles. So, you know, if they survive, then they will gain medals, you know, little by little. So that's kind of the idea, is just to keep doing as well as you can with your units, give them medals, increase their abilities, etc. Although this game, it does not actually increase abilities per se. When you get medals, there is a hero system that does increase your abilities. And, you know, obviously just fighting with your units as much as you can, you're going to get Iron Crosses for them, stuff like that. That is just really cool. We're going to go ahead and end the turn here. And we're very close to Warsaw. Lodz is not yet taken, but I believe in the next turn we should be able to take it. As you can see, we do have some Polish infantry coming up here from the south. A little troubling since they're a full infantry corps. But no matter, we're going to go ahead and just ignore them. Retreat into the city, what I like to call a tactical retreat. And we just destroyed 5 of the artillery. They should run away, and indeed they have. We'll go ahead and make sure these guys get some replacements. And there also, one good thing about getting replacements is for some reason you also get resupplied, which I think is a little cheap, and you can definitely use that to your advantage in this game. But, you know, hey, I'm not going to complain. If it's going to help me win, I'm all for it. Now, these earlier campaigns, as you guys can see, we're doing the Polish campaign right now. There's also the French campaign. There's the Norway campaign. There's the Balkans campaigns. All sorts of different campaigns that you can play in this game. And the expansions, they have covered just about every single conflict in World War II. If you check out the actual website of the guys that create this game, they have an unbelievable amount of different genres that they do. They don't just do World War II games, they do World War I games, and really just cover the entire grand strategy genre, which I think is awesome. You know, definitely just think that's great, especially since there's so few good games out these days of grand strategy. Let's go ahead and get these tanks up. Now, like I said, overextending myself was a bad idea, because these tanks are way too far south, and even though I have to take those cities down south, I didn't need to send so many tanks to do that with. So what I'm going to try to do, I don't believe I can, but I may be able to, is I'm going to go here, and I'm going to try to buy another tank, a Panzer 38T. and drop him here. I actually wanted to drop him over here in Lodge, but I guess I can't do that yet. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and take that airfield. I'm going to go ahead and open fire on those units. Nothing they can do because they're just infantry and they're powerless against the Luftwaffe. Or something to that effect. But yeah, oh, actually that plane damaged my tank pretty bad, which is why I guess a lot of friends suggested definitely get a good Air Force early on in the game. Get some fighter planes. You know, don't be afraid to spend a bunch of money on fighter planes. This tank unit, just to irritate the enemy, all I'm going to do is reinforce it. Just give it total replacements, so his entire attack was sort of nullified pretty easily there. Now this bomber is almost out of actual, unfortunately, fuel, and I don't think he's going to be able to do any damage to the defending artillery either. So what we're going to try to do is push into Warsaw as quickly as possible. We're going to be really sneaky here. We're going to totally just bypass Radom, and we're going to go around them, and I think it's going to work out just fine. We'll keep opening artillery fire, just to confuse the poor bastards, but we'll keep advancing. And obviously, I would definitely prefer to play with allies in this game. I am not a Nazi sympathizer. In fact, every time one of my soldiers dies, a little bit of happiness fills my stomach. But it's still quite fun to fight with the Germans and try to win these battles that were, you know, some were won. Obviously, the campaign of Poland was won, but a lot of the battles later on in the game were lost, and you can try to turn the tide of history, as it were, which is a really fun aspect of this actual game. So we're going to go ahead and end the turn here, but first things first. We'll move up this tank unit. We'll also reinforce this infantry unit here. And why not? We'll move up the fighter plane and attack that artillery unit. And actually, I think we may be able to do a little bit of damage. Yeah, just a tiny bit anyway. Hopefully, I'll be able to end this turn, or finish this game very soon. I don't think they're going to be able to break through into Lodz, but I'm going to keep that tank there just in case. Or I may just reinforce some of my units. That may be the next best thing. Now, this is great. 9 of 17. If I can break through right here of this I guess, anti-tank gun, I think I may be able to break on through to Lodz. To Warsaw. I keep confusing the two. My Polish subscriber's going to kill me. Okay, so he's actually retreated into the city, which is kind of what I expect them to do. I'll move this tank over here, open fire. I should be able to take him out this turn. Maybe not. Okay, maybe not. But we'll move the tank up. Oh, there we go. So we actually did take him out this turn, guys. I'm going to see, can the infantry move up into Warsaw? I believe they can. And I will move this tank here, although at this point I think I've more or less won. But obviously never believe that you've won the game until you actually have, because if you do that, if you make that mistake, which I've done numerous times in this game, you're going to get a big surprise. Like this infantry unit right there could technically take Lodz pretty easily. But we're not going to worry about them. We're just going to continue. And at this point, ending the turn should win us the game. So hopefully, as long as no Polish partisans or infantry show up in this area. So here we go, guys. I believe this will be the end. Once the enemy gets a chance to attack, and they totally fail, because they can't stand up against the mighty German army, we're going to win. And basically, as you can see, the enemy just assaulted Lodz. They had to do the last desperate attempt, sort of like a Hail Mary pass, but they didn't succeed. Anyway, guys, I really want you guys to take a look at this game, Panzer Corps. Just a wonderful, wonderful game. I'm going to leave the link below to the actual website that sells it, the company that sells it. And I really recommend you guys go take a look at the forums, you know, take a look at other videos, not just this one, and tell me what you guys think. Post in the comments below. Definitely buy this. I would love to play some multiplayer with you guys, and I think it would be a lot of fun. Thanks so much, guys. Take it easy.